Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a huge shift happening right under our noses. AI has learned to write code, and it does it at an absolutely incredible speed. But the real question is, what happens next? What happens after the code is written? For decades, the entire software industry has been completely obsessed with one single problem. We just don't have enough developers. The whole challenge was always about how to create enough code fast enough to keep up with demand. Well, almost overnight, it seems, AI is solving that problem for us. It can spit out thousands of lines of code in seconds. It's turning what was once a scarcity of code into this unbelievable abundance. And just like that, the old question is pretty much answered. But this new power, this amazing ability, forces us to ask a much, much deeper question. Because it turns out that generating the code, that's actually the easy part. The new question is, who is going to take responsibility for the long-term consequences of everything AI is about to build?
Okay, so to really get our heads around this, we're going to walk through 5 key ideas that'll help explain what's really at stake here.
First up, let's really dig into this major shift, from just creating things to dealing with the consequences. Next, to make sense of all this, we're going to use a simple framework. Let's call it the 3 levels of software. Okay, so here they are. Level 1 is just writing the code itself, the raw instructions. Level 2 is about designing the systems, the algorithms that actually give all that code some structure. And then there's level 3, taking responsibility for the software's entire life cycle, making sure it's sustainable for the long haul. And this is where the problem becomes crystal clear. We have a massive imbalance. AI is getting crazy good at level 1, the creation part. But level 3, the whole responsibility piece, is just a huge blind spot for the entire industry. And that right there is where the real danger is hiding. So this imbalance creates a problem that, believe it or not, we can explain with a pretty delicious metaphor: the AI bagel factory.
I want you to just imagine AI as this giant factory, and it can bake an almost infinite number of software bagels. It is just churning out apps and programs at a speed we have never seen before. Sounds amazing, right? But, well, there's a catch.
So these bagel programs, they might look absolutely perfect from the outside. They compile, they run, they seem to work just fine. But when you look inside, there's a hole where the clear organizing algorithm is supposed to be. The core idea is either missing or just totally buried and impossible to find. And here is the paradox that's so important to understand. The faster and easier it is to generate the code, the dough of the bagel, the more likely we are to lose sight of the central idea, the hole that gives it its actual shape. We're getting a ton more software, but we might be losing clarity in the process. Okay, so what happens when our digital world gets filled with all these empty software bagels? Well, that leads us right to our next point: this crucial shift from digital pollution to a new model of stewardship. The parallel here is, wow, it's striking. Just like the Industrial Revolution created all kinds of physical pollution alongside all its progress, the AI revolution is running the risk of creating a brand new kind of pollution: digital pollution. Now, this isn't smog you can see, but it's every bit as damaging. It's this growing pile of fragile systems with confusing algorithms that you can't safely update. It creates this massive technical debt. That's the future cost of fixing something you did the easy way now. And our whole society is becoming more and more dependent on it. The antidote to this pollution requires a really profound change in how we think. We have to shift from being just code builders to becoming digital stewards. And this means recognizing that our job doesn't end when the software launches. Actually, that's exactly where the real work begins. So you can see the chain reaction, right? AI's mass code generation leads to this bagel factory software, which in turn creates digital pollution. And all of that makes the need for this new model of stewardship absolutely urgent. And this brings us to our real challenge. If we're going to be good stewards, we have to start measuring what actually matters. Think about it. Today, the industry measures short-term wins: performance, revenue, user growth. We almost never stop to ask the hard questions like, can this system be safely changed in 5 years? Is the core logic even understandable to another human being? Will its architecture actually hold up over time? But there is some hope here. New ideas are starting to pop up, like the Methodological Sustainability Index, or MSI. This is one of the first real attempts to create a standard for measuring the long-term health of software. So maybe the key takeaway is to start asking, hey, What's our team's MSI? How do we measure the health of our own software?
Valery Rakitina, who founded the Eco-Programming Alliance, he captures this idea perfectly. He points out that the act of creation and the act of responsibility are now two completely different jobs. AI can handle the first one, but the second one, yeah, that's on us.
And this leaves us with the defining challenge of our era. For 50 years, we've been trying to solve the problem of how to write enough code. That race is over. The question for all of us now is who will step up to be the stewards of the complex, interconnected, and fragile digital world that AI is building all around us.